A few people messaged me. I'm gonna tell them it's back up.
They messaged me too. Okay, y'all. We'll be starting soon in a second. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Okay, so before we start, just want to say the reason why we got cut off the first time because WWE wanted to say that we had their content, we were sharing their content, and that's why we got cut off. So what we're gonna do is instead of us doing our intro, we already did our intro already. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the 10 bell salute again. And remember to like this video, send us all of your hearts, your love emoji.
Yeah, definitely. Please react to the video. Make sure you like, share, all that. Because this is a new session.
Yeah, this is a new session, so we're literally starting over again. So
if y'all don't mind.
Fucked up. Yes, this is so fucked up. Oh my god. Okay. All right, y'all. We'll be right back. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming back. And to all of the wrestling admins in some of these wrestling groups, I apologize for forwarding all of this shit in your group. I wasn't my intention. It's just, WWE wants to be trash and they want to throw us off because of their content or whatever. But this is a special episode of a passing of a WWE legend. So as we were saying, Ziggy, did you want to give your thoughts again? I'm sorry, I don't want you to repeat yourself, but
Yeah, like what talking about like with Scott Hall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of what I said in the first session was like when Junkyard Dog passed and when some of the legends in the generations before us started passing, I started seeing how it would affect my dad because he said he watched them grow up like when he was growing up, he would watch them. And so
Mm-hmm.
now it's kind of like hitting me because like man, I grew up watching Razor Ramon and Scott Hall, and even after he retired, like he would go to these different conventions and he would always talk to everybody and how nice he was and everything. And it's just unfortunate, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in the last session, that like we all have our faults, is well documented.
Mm-hmm.
His issues that he's had, but it's not about that. We all, because if that's the case, we all have faults, and then we all should stop being highlighted if that's the case.
Right.
How did that thing go? If who's without sin cast the first stone?
Mm.
you know uh
Yes. As I said,
'cause-
before you come for me, you need to check your closet first. Yes.
right.
Check your
So
skeletons in your closet. Yes.
right. So all everything in the vacuum. Scott Hall, he was a father. He was a person that a lot of people looked up to. He was a mentor to a lot of wrestlers. Like I didn't know he was a mentor to like Baron Corbin. You might not like
Mm.
you might not like him as a wrestler, but there's still somebody that cared a lot about him. He took his time to go down to NXT, coach up a lot of these up and coming guys in the industry, and it's just very unfortunate when you see things like this happen.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, these are people. These are, like Chris says to these blue in the face.
Mm.
Take the entertainment aspect out of it, the pyro, the fireworks. At the end of the day, Scott Hall was a dad. He was a person that a lot of people cared about. Kevin Nash, like his whole circle of people that they're really feeling it right now. So
Oh my
uh,
God,
it-
I'm feeling for Kevin Nash right now. Like I know he is hurting.
anybody that had a friend that was close to him pass, and you're the surviving person, like that's hard. And you just feel for everybody involved, all parties involved, all organizations involved. And once again, it's unfortunate that stuff like this has to happen to bring the wrestling community together, even if it's for 5 minutes and y'all gonna probably be arguing about NXT or something that happened today.
Shut
or
up,
whatever.
Ziggy.
So
Shut up, Ziggy.
I'm just saying, like
don't do that.
it's just good that for one night or however long this phase lasts, people can come together and share pictures of times they met Scott Hall at conventions, or autographed memorabilia that they got from Funko Pops, whatever it was. It's just kind of cool seeing people honor him and remember him, and kind of have everyone kind of come together. And like Kevin said, nobody's perfect. I agree, Kev.
Correct. And no one's perfect, but then at the same time, it shouldn't take a death to bring us together. Like we all love wrestling. We love wrestling. So why don't we keep that love in our community? That is why I be telling people, please keep that same energy. You know what I'm saying? Like when we need it the most. You know what I'm saying? We love wrestling, so why don't we keep it as such? It shouldn't even matter, like if you like the WWE or AEW. That's not even the issue, and that's what that really bothered me yesterday, because I was already in a bad mood yesterday. Even announcing death, I don't like that. I don't like it. I had to do that with my best friend that passed away. His name was Ziggy, and I just tell people that. You don't know when your time is.
Never know.
You might be alive today and gone tomorrow. You never ever know.
Look at what was the comedian name? Bob Saget. He slipped and hit his head. He was perfectly fine. to my knowledge, other than him slipping and hitting his head, boom, gone.
Yeah, King, like you're exactly right. Like it shouldn't bring, death to bring people closer together. It shouldn't. We're all love human, and that's the same thing. Like say, like you haven't seen a relative in God knows how long, and then all of a sudden you want to come to their funeral because they passed away. It shouldn't even be like that. Like if you love this person, if you love the business as much as you say you do, then it shouldn't take an argument of who like what or who like what company to bring to like for y'all to stop talking. And I think that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because yesterday I had to let go of a friend because I didn't appreciate how I didn't care if this was like towards Dave Meltzer. I didn't care if it was toward any other like podcaster that was out there. The fact is that I was one of the cats that announced this at 3:00 in the morning, and you decided to go on your post and say that, he quotes something from Denzel Washington, and he said something about people want notoriety or they want to make this a contest of, sharing big news or whatever and making their platform big. And I sat there and I'm saying like, who were you talking to? Oh, he explained himself. He's talking about, I was talking about the people on Twitter, but yet you didn't mention that on Twitter. You put that on Facebook. So I have to ask you again, who in the fuck were you talking to? I had to let him go. I said, because like, number one, you're not going to disrespect me like that. And then on top of that, you were the first co-host on this show. So I'm not doing this shit for kicks and I'm not doing this shit for popularity. I don't give a fuck if people like me or not. Scott Hall passed away, okay? At first, he didn't. He was still on life support, but they said he was going to discontinue. That was my fault. I should have reworded that differently. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of y'all follow #Heals for Life. And that's why it's our duty to give you the most accurate information as possible. Even though Scott did pass away later on that day, but some of us already had in our head that he was already gone. And that's unfortunate. But I don't want people to understand, I don't want people to get this twisted. Just because we announced the death does not mean that we're trying to make our brand popular. Honey, I've been in this motherfucker for 10 years, okay? And I've had people come to me and, voice their displeasure on what I'm saying about the news. So I don't give a fuck. I just want to kind of put that out here. I'm not trying to make this about us. I'm just want to let people know the negativity is not needed. Okay? We got enough negativity. But anyway, going back to Razor Ramon, he is one of the people that inspired me to watch wrestling. He kept me glued, especially with his running with Goldust. He beat the living shit out of him.
Nobody talk about that enough. Why is that not talked about enough? They talk about it, but not enough.
Because back then, if you watch the promos and if you watch Jerry the King Lawler, he said some things that will not be said today. He said things like,
makes sense. Yeah, okay, I got you.
No, go ahead.
No. That when you started, I see why.
Elaborating
now. Yeah, once you started explaining, I was like, you know what? Point taken.
Yes, that whole thing about homophobia was also put out there on Front Street. The whole thing about Razor saying that he don't swing that way. He like women. I mean, the whole mind games were legendary. Right. It was legendary as fuck. That's why stuff like that you will never see on television, because you got things like Me Too and
get canceled,
culture cancellations, that type of shit. That's why we will never ever see that shit. Lorenzo said that his best rivalry was against Shawn Michaels and the 1-2-3 Kid. I agree.
That's overall rivalry, even including his WCW stuff.
overall.
That's what I'm asking. Is that what Lorenzo's saying?
Oh, because I was gonna say, like, I'm gonna let him speak. I'm gonna let him talk on this one because I didn't follow Scott Hall like that. I knew who he was, but then when he went to WCW, I didn't have cable back then. I had magazines. So I couldn't like really follow him like that. Now I heard about, Sold Out, with the NWO pay-per-views. I heard about them, but like I couldn't really follow WCW like that. So that's why I be telling people like I really wasn't a WCW fan like that because I just didn't have the television to follow it. You know what I'm saying? So but
he had a good match with Stevie Ray in WCW. It was Harlem Heat and the Outsiders.
It's funny because I just talked to Stevie Ray today.
Yeah.
About, you know what I'm saying?
And it was actually good. Stevie Ray picked him up. You know how big that guy is? Stevie Ray picked him up.
Yeah.
It was a good match, man. You need to go back and see that. That was one of my favorites with them.
So what about, they said also, they said one of his best matches was against Goldberg, which I kind of find that very hard to believe because Goldberg really didn't have a really lot of good matches.
Some people, let's see. Mitchell said he invaded WCW May of 1996. That's Tony said. I was like, I'm not going. That's their opinion. Whoever said that, but
I mean, I just, and then also his TNA days.
That is true. He wasn't TNA.
Yeah. Why did you say it like that?
I forgot until you said.
Oh, okay. I was like, so not to discredit, I'm glad Jaquez is not on here because he's an Impact guy / TNA guy. So if he did have some good matches, I didn't hear about them in TNA, of course. But WCW, let's kind of talk about the formation of NWO. He was one of the founding fathers, and even as much as I hate Hulk Hogan, he said that Scott Hall was responsible
for the Hollywood gimmick or helped them out with it. Yeah, like to actually, because Hulk Hogan, to my knowledge, up until that point, he's been just babyface. So he had to kind of learn to be the bad guy. So,
I mean, but politically in the back, he was a bad guy.
Oh, correct. On screen.
Off screen, he was a bad guy for real.
Yes.
Off screen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck could you say that you didn't know how to be a bad guy, but you was a bad guy in real life? And then he brought that on television, which made it even worse. But I mean, it paid dividends because NWO is probably one of the most, if not the most successful stable in history. I mean, they literally expanded their whole roster, expanded into another wrestling organization. If you really want to keep it real,
he hit him with that cattle prod. He shocked the shit out of Goldberg.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he shocked the shit out of him.
I'll tell you, he got the Holy Ghost that night. Antonio said that Hulk Hogan was getting boring and Hall helped him. He helped him a great deal because, we seen a metamorphosis
Hollywood
just
Hogan.
like that. Hollywood Hogan. And it was Hogan, Dark Hogan was entertaining. He was very.
Oh yeah, Hollywood. I love Hollywood Hogan, but the Red and Hulkamania Hogan, I'm good on that. I was good on that.
Hollywood who?
Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I prefer that character over Hulkamania Hogan.
Yeah, that shit was trash. I'm sorry. I just didn't. I never liked Hogan. I was never a Hulk Hogan fan, but I still give him his flowers because of what he did in the business. But Mitchell said that and responsible for Sting turning the Crow character. I did not know that either.
Oh yeah, from Surfer Sting to the Crow Sting. That's yeah. He did a lot of stuff back, like with helping people with certain little things, little nuggets.
Bro, like I'm really literally getting an education because like I did not like some of the stuff. Like, listen, everybody, just because I'm a wrestling nerd, there's some stuff I still don't know. And then on top of that too, WCW, like that area is kind of gray for me. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm learning as I go along. So that's why I said knowledge is power, everybody. Man, you know that now.
Yeah, tell us some of your favorite WCW moments with Scott Hall. Like like tell Chris about the Outsiders and the Wolfpack. I know you know about it, but like what are y'all favorite moments of it that have Scott Hall in it?
I see you trying to come for me like on the slide. I see that. Smiling. Anyway,
hey, Tony said let him in.
Okay. I hate you. I swear I do. Oh God, because you be trying to come for me on the slide, but you be like, oh, the baby face with the.
I'm the baby face on a heel show.
So just because you look like a muscle version of Steve Urkel, you telling me that I'm the baby face? No, you got some shady you. Just like what you say. Oh, shout out to your show too. Shout out to Ziggy's show earlier. Great show. Pettiness.
I bring that here.
Obviously.
I learned from the best.
Fuck you.
Oh
all
man.
right, I'm about to pull out the link. All right. Okay.
He said uncensored 1997 NWO versus the Piper team versus WCW. That was Mitchell.
There was a lot of like WCW versus NWO matches. Do you think they were kind of oversaturated back in the day?
When they started adding just like everybody, yeah, but because the whole roster ended up just becoming a big faction war. Because you had the Latino World Order, then you had the NWO, so it was a lot of it was just one big just faction war going on.
Yeah, keep on coming, y'all. So right now, any of y'all that want to mention all of the good times from WWF, not WWE, WCW, TNA, or even some of the indie circuits, because there was one time the Outsiders came out to the Fugees.
That was okay.
Shut up.
I'm just messing with you.
Shut up.
We got some people jumped in the lobby, bro.
Yes.
You want to bring them all on or one at a time? There you go. We got Kenya, Rockin' Reese, and Big Tony in the building.
What up?
Hi, humans.
Why you shaking your head, Tony?
Hold on. No.
Yes.
Y'all two, I swear, y'all two make me just happy.
What? No. Look, Ziggy know why I'm upset with him. He know that. He know he's one of the most pettiest motherfuckers, though. But
I just be smiling, just having a good time with y'all.
He sit there trying to act like he a Christian, but he really ain't. So that's what
Ziggy's a tweener. That's what he is.
Yeah.
We Rockin'
Reese. I'll get
that last week. He's a tweener.
I'll get that to him. Tweener.
I'll give y'all the floor, man. Y'all go ahead and
we're gonna shut the fuck up.
Talk to us.
Hey, Ziggy, should we cut out?
I'll cut out and let them talk.
All right, let's cut out.
Okay, all right. Which one of y'all want to go first?
I'll let y'all go ahead.
Well, okay, then let me go. Because I think I stated this enough. I might as well keep on stating it because I watched Scott Hall from the AWA days when he had the Tom Selleck mustache, the big hair, the cowboy gloves and stuff. He was tag team champion with Kurt Hennig. Went to WCW, became a Diamond Stud. You know, that was like the beginning of Razor Ramon but once he got to WWF, and I mean the swag that dude had, like he was a heel. Like, you understand? He was supposed to be the bad guy. Like, he said he's the bad guy.
He was like the perfect bad guy, to tell you the truth.
Right. He tells you he's the bad guy.
We
still cheering him. We cheer him against Macho Man. We cheer him against Bret Hart, who was the top baby faces of the company. And then and not only that, how we talk about today, how like Chris Jericho and certain people are unselfish. Scott Hall was very unselfish. Like, to give 1, 2, 3 kid, Sean Waltman, a skinny kid like that in the WWF at the time, which was all about muscle and 300-pound guys, to give 1, 2, 3 kid that win on Monday Night Raw was still like one of the biggest shock moments of Raw history.
No,
and make a star out
definitely.
of him. Make the star out of him.
Shock moment.
And not only that, he's a hidden gem as well. Like, people don't know that Scott Hall put a lot of people over, you know, like Goldberg, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, you name it all.
As y'all can see, I am still rocking my NWO shirt with the
nice.
Good.
I mean, it's what that dude did for the business, and he changed the WWF at the same time, because remember, it was supposed to be the new generation, and we got some new stars. And I know everybody talking about the Clique had backstage politics, but it was backstage politics for the good, because that was like the biggest numbers at the time for WWF at the time, when they sold out Madison Square Garden for the first time in years, and we know the infamous
I know the curtain call. The curtain call. That's where when he first showed up on WCW TV, and I remember it was during a match where he just went through the crowd, and then he got in the ring, and the minute he cut that promo where he was like, "You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here."
And that changed everything.
The minute he cut that promo, I said, "Yep, that's telling you right there, he ain't with WWE no more," because they thought that Vince McMahon sent him and Kevin Nash over to WCW, basically to ruin their brand or to ruin what's going on over there.
And made it sound like he did it too, because you remember the little vignettes they used to have with the $1 billion Ted and the Nacho Man and stuff, and he put that in the promo. So you thought that the WWF actually sunned him, and then like 2 weeks later, him and Kevin Nash, and they started doing all this stuff, and to the point that even WWF started giving cease and desist letters to WCW. But that was close to their characters and stuff.
Right.
And
they did that scene at the Great American Bash when Nash jackknifed Bischoff off the stage.
Oh man.
Oh, that was crazy.
Right. And the thing about this, everything, mostly all the cool stuff that happened in WCW was kind of almost like Scott Hall's idea, from the Sting turned to Crow, Hulk Hogan turned to his Hollywood character. Like, listen, man, your Hulkamania was getting stale. You was getting booed before we got here. So
he was. Because when he left WWE and went to WCW back then, it was like, okay, the same thing you did in WWF at the time, the same thing you were doing over there, you're now doing it over here in WCW. So it's like we're seeing everything that you did over here on another program. So when Scott Hall, I guess, gave him the impression and was like, you know what, why don't you just go ahead and do Hollywood? You know, because when he was in WWE, he did star in some movies, and he was like a big major star, not just in wrestling but in Hollywood as well. So it was like, well, how about you just do that? Do the Hollywood gimmick?
Like Scott Hall don't get enough credit, and some of the storylines he was getting, being the tag team champion. I don't know how many times he was tag team champions, but Outsiders was doing a thing. He's a 2-time United States champion. He's I think he won the television title too. But the storylines he had, a lot of people don't remember this, but they don't talk about it as much. How he had a storyline with Larry Zbyszko, who was like way over his days, and he was doing a program with Larry Zbyszko for like months until they finally got a match, and he turned the American Dream heel to sign up with him. Like, no one saw the American Dream going to NWO.
Nope. Matter of fact, and the thing I remembered the most about that was the following match. Giovanni literally left the broadcast booth because he was that upset about it.
Yeah, he was emotional. He was emotional about it. But I mean, everybody like they said earlier, he had his flaws, he had his problems, which cost him WCW for a minute. But
World War III winner in '97.
World War III man, who didn't really get a fair shot his title match thanks to Hogan. I just want to bring that up. But he did get a title shot later on with Sting. That's probably a crime in itself that he was never a heavyweight champion. That's probably a crime right there. That man had so much charisma, had all the fans. Once he said, all he had to do is say 2 words, "Hey yo," and the crowd was into it.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't give him a title. It's a crime. It's a crime. But when he did take his break and he did come back to the WWF, and they showed him some love and gave him a marquee match at WrestleMania against Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know I don't know many people that like that match, but I love that match. But the simple fact
check this out though. The WrestleMania 18 match between Stone Cold and Scott Hall. This is kind of the backstory behind that match, because I didn't know about this until I heard about it. When that match was first advertised, and I guess it was brought up to Stone Cold that he was going to be doing a match, he was going to be working with Scott Hall at WrestleMania, Austin didn't even want to do the match in the first place. Like, he didn't even want to do a match with Scott Hall at WrestleMania because he felt like at the time, when Scott Hall first came back in 2002, when he came back that year, he wasn't over, or he wasn't as over as he thought he was. Mm-hmm. And Austin didn't even want to do the match, but he went ahead and did it anyway, because the ideal match that he wanted at WrestleMania 18 was against Hulk Hogan. Mm-hmm. That's what Steve Austin wanted, but instead The Rock ended up facing Hulk Hogan at that year's WrestleMania, and he got Scott Hall. But like you said, the match was great. It was a good match.
Let me add on to that story, because what happened was, if you don't remember the WWF magazine, they used to have dream matches, and they had a dream match of The Rock against Hogan, and that got so much buzz that they just forgot it was for Hogan and Stone Cold. But that match, that thing got so much buzz in a survey, they went with The Rock against Hogan. And of course, like you said, he was pissed off about it. And I mean, pretty much so, but the match that you had with Scott Hall, like Scott Hall even did the one of the best sells of a stunner I have ever seen. I thought
that was better than I'm probably just gonna go on record and say it, but when he sold Austin's Stone Cold Stunner, that was probably a little bit better than how The Rock did it.
Yeah,
because you know how when Austin stuns The Rock, and he be like, it's like he'll hit a backflip after he gets hit. Like right after he gets hit with a stunner, he'll hit like a backflip. But when Scott Hall got hit with the stunner, it's like he took the first one, and after he took the second one, he just jumped up and landed. I was like, yep. Just like Jim Ross said, that was a WrestleMania stunner.
Yeah, that was with some stink on it.
just like Austin said before WrestleMania, he said, when I hit him with the stunner, I'm gonna put some stank on it. and that's a wrap.
Right.
And that's exactly what he did. And just like Jim Ross said, just like I said, that was a WrestleMania stunner. And the only thing is like, but another thing I remember Scott Hall did, and this is kind of crazy. When he and Kevin Nash was in WCW, and Eric Bischoff and everybody kept saying, y'all came here from WWE, y'all not even with us, and they just kept going on and on. Like every time Scott Hall and Kevin Nash would show up on Nitro, and they would have security all over the place, just waiting for them and everything. And then finally he comes out and just asks him, are you still with WWE? Yes or no? They just kept on saying, no, we're not with them no more. We're not with WWE no more. That's what we trying to tell y'all. We not with them no more. And they just kept, and then the same promo or the same punchline, no, not punchline, but catchphrase that he used in WWE, he used it on Nitro too. He said, we're here in WCW and we're gonna carve you up.
Yeah.
And everyone just kept looking like, dude, didn't you just say that in WWE?
Yeah. Which they got that cease and desist letter. And actually, thanks to WWF or WWE, they got more money in their contract. So thank you very much for that move. But I mean, we could talk. I mean, I could talk about WCW, especially the promos, the business that he did. But it's stuff that people don't talk about is the stuff he did for charities, and I think someone shared a video of him on Jerry Springer.
Yeah, he gave the kids the tickets to WrestleMania.
The kids, he's no one don't know this either. He's a very good gamer. He plays a lot of games. He's good with the game, with the PlayStation and stuff. So, I mean, I only memory I got of Scott Hall, and I cherish this even more now. My first ever WrestleMania, Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania 10 ladder match for the Intercontinental title.
That match was a classic.
We all know the story of the Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, but to be there live now, and like I said, it means much more to me than it already did. That I witnessed that, and now he's gone, and I watch it. It was hurting me yesterday because I watched it yesterday, and
oh man, if you pick a Scott Hall, if you put a Scott Hall match list, like that's not number one on the list. I don't know
after that, I haven't seen him live at all. Like, so that's the only match I've seen live. WCW rarely comes to New York or New Jersey when I was a kid, so it was kind of hard to see a Scott Hall NWO live. But if you was a fan back then, you watched the Monday Night Wars, and you was either flipping channels or you did one of these numbers. I wait for the second episode to come on after the first Nitro go off. You got your money's worth when you saw Scott Hall.
Oh yeah.
You had the Hey Yo, and you had the Survey Time, and everybody loved the Survey Time. So Scott Hall is gonna be missed, man. And the fact that the whole wrestling industry, not just WWE, not just TNA, hell, NWA did a tribute, New Japan did a tribute. This hurts the whole industry. Hopefully, this could bring everybody together. I don't care how long it takes. It should bring everybody together like this. Let's enjoy these wrestlers while we can. And because especially me, I'm 40 years old. It seems like my childhood is disappearing at a rapid rate right now. And we need to enjoy these guys while we can, especially these guys that's doing these dangerous moves and hardcore matches. They gonna be soon with the hip surgery and all this stuff. So we gotta enjoy these guys and thank them for throwing their bodies and entertaining us guys that can't do what they do. You know. So
I just thought one of the most when it comes to Scott, like there's just so much, and you pretty much hit on a lot of it. But like one of the things we actually forget about is that Scott Hall, and appropriately enough, because we kind of went through this with somebody over the weekend, was Scott Hall was somebody who went through his fair share of gimmick changes. Because what a lot of people don't talk about was that before any of his runs, like of course he started out in the Kansas City territory. Him and Danny Spivey were a tag team, the American Starship.
Oh God.
Yeah. And then
bring that up, but go ahead, Reese.
Yeah. And then after that before his WCW run with the Diamond Stud, he also had a brief little run, and he actually had a match with the Great Muta at one point, which I think was his highest profile run in that one. And it was kind of crazy because at this point, like you described him when he was blonde and he had the big cowboy boots, whatever, and they tried to give him like this alligator wrestling gimmick. Yeah, that was one of those Jim Herd specials right there, everybody. But yeah, when he went through that, the Diamond Stud, and I think Triple H said it best. When he became Razor Ramon, he found that missing spark that he needed to just like light up and become Dynamite. Because
yeah, like I said, when he was Diamond Stud, that was the start. Diamond Stud was the look. So all he had to do was find the character, in which he said he went to Vince and said, "Have you ever saw Scarface?" And Vince said, "I can't believe Vince said no to this," but Vince never saw Scarface. And he showed him the movie. He said, "That's my character. That's the voice of my character." And all the vignettes, I remember watching WrestleMania Challenge in the weekends, and the vignettes would come on and stuff. He took some snippets from the movie and put on the vignettes. Yeah. Like the dude was a star, and especially if you go to WWF and they give you at least 3 to 4 vignettes before you start. They had so
I remember they had like 5 a whole video.
Yeah.
They had like a whole bunch of vignettes for Razor Ramon, because I know in one of his vignette videos he was talking about, you know what I want? I want the WWE title.
I want the world and everything in it, Chico.
And then he was mentioning, he said, I want the Undertaker, and I want. He was just mentioning a lot of the wrestlers that was in WWE that he wanted to face, and I was like, man. And after watching all his vignettes, I said, dude, he's gonna make some moves in WWE. He's gonna make some moves.
And I'll tell you what, one of the best things he did, his portion of Mr. Perfect becoming a babyface. Because if you watch that whole segment, like when they did the in studios stuff, like Razor sold this one even on prime time the best, because the one part where he said, "Yo, Perfect, yo, you talk about you could take me, Macho, and Ric Flair and take 3 guys on in one night. Dude, you ain't fight 3 people in 1 year, Chico. You sit on your soft behind a microphone for over a year."
Yeah, he called out Perfect, which actually I think it was like Macho Man said, "I got the perfect partner," because those things were fucked up. And he said he's sitting right then. Then Bobby the Brain, he had lost it and smacked Perfect. And Scott Hall, Scott Hall. That's Scott Hall's ex-tag team partner.
Yeah.
So, he's, like I said, one of the most unselfish guys in the business. Scott helped a lot of people, helped people that we are still watching today. I think Ziggy mentioned the Baron Corbin, Damian Priest. He gave Damian Priest the blessing to use the Edge outside the Edge,
Razor's Edge.
We see a lot of influences come from him, like Chris Bay does the sidewalk. Just morning.
Remember the Fallaway Slam where we saw from Kevin Owens? Yeah.
Right. Just morning. Tanahashi, who's the ace of New Japan, did the walk and the toothpick. El Phantasmo did the toothpick this morning. So he's still bits and parts of his moveset or his characteristics is still in the business today. And that's a tribute in his own. And some of the guys, even that they're not working WWE, they still use him as an influence. Hell, The Rock himself tweeted that he studied Scott Hall.
Oh yeah, The Rock. And that reminded me, I remember one of the funniest moments is when they were doing a promo, and then and then Scott Hall and by the way, a lot of people forget that Scott Hall was the originator of "Don't Sing It, Bring It," but he was like, "Yeah, Chico, don't sing it, bring it," and The Rock just looked dumbfounded. It's like, "Chico, what you just tell Rock?" And I was cracking up, and I was like, "Yo, Rock, Scott Hall did say that before you was even in the company, there, brother."
Oh yeah, he said it. Oh, don't forget the first time they met in No Way Out. Like, that was wow. Like
you there, Chico, Rezo Ramon,
and don't forget you got to wave a little bit.
Yeah, do the little wave, and then you take the camera. You hand it off to Nash. You hand it off to you, Big Daddy Cool.
I mean, it was.
Yeah,
like, that's entertaining. I mean, that was the closest to the Monday Night War dream matches we was gonna get.
Sure.
You know, but I think his highest highlight in WCW, like I said, was tag team the US. But if you want to really get down to it, when he tased Goldberg, made Goldberg like he had the Holy Ghost on the ground, that's up there. You know,
Scott Hall, the original streak breaker, brother.
Yeah, he was the one that helped Kevin Nash get the WCW title and give Goldberg his first loss. Mm-hmm. So when you think back to the WCW championship match between Kevin Nash and Goldberg, and it's like look at it and be like, how you think Goldberg got that first loss? How you think Goldberg lost his first match? Scott Hall. He tased him. He was disguised as a security guard, and he tased him, and then Kevin Nash hit him with the jackhammer. Got the win, got the title.
Got the win.
And here's the funny part. This was after Scott Hall backstabbed Kevin Nash earlier in the year, and then Hall got excommunicated from NWO Hollywood. So he's kind of like lone wolf in it for a bit.
Yeah, which we found out all that was a ruse for the polka doing it. But like with Hall got moments for his own ring and some moments outside. Like what person, especially today with wrestlers that's so sensitive, what person you know that could stay in character after getting hit with a cup of beer and just wave the beer through his hair?
That was Scott Hall swag at its best, right there.
Stay cool. It was a fucking not a little bit of the cup. It was a full cup of beer. Hit his head, and he just went smooth after he said "too sweet." I mean, the man was. I think
the person was aiming for Bischoff though, but
probably was. But the fact that Scott Hall just kept in character, didn't snap. You know, that's why I say that you can see the difference to who was the mature one in the clique. Because we all remember when Shawn Michaels got hit with the battery, he did a little temper tantrum and walked away.
Yes, I remember that.
And then Kevin Nash got hit by somebody on MTV, and he like literally chased down the dude.
Yeah, so you know, it's like Scott Hall is a little bit old school. Like, listen, I'm in character. They supposed to hate me, blah blah. They pay their money, cool, whatever. But oh man, I mean, I'm trying to think of some TNA moments that Scott did. I know hold on, how about this? Scott Hall's a former tag team champion. He's a former TNA tag team champion. He was at the very first show of TNA.
And like one of the very first segments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was there, and he they do the battle royal. He helped eliminate Jeff Jarrett. He did some stuff in Japan, and I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, like one of the top entrants he ever did was come out to Fuji's Ready or Not. He did that in Japan. He did it in ECW. I think he did it for the Gigolo wrestling place with Insane Clown Posse at a wrestling organization.
Oh yeah.
The dude went everywhere. It's just unfortunate some of his problems caught up with him. And I want to put this out here. I was watching the resurrection of Jake the Snake, and Scott Hall was on that. It's something that it triggered me this morning.
think it's camera froze.
Yeah. But I was also thinking about another moment, and little trivia factoid that Scott Hall was actually involved in the final match with the Macho Man.
I remember that, yeah.
And back at Turning Point to give another TNA/Impact moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, dude, there's so many things that Scott Hall, like, he had so many hidden gems that you didn't think about. And one that I brought up was, and I'd even forgotten about this moment, was that he actually let Chris Jericho pin him on an episode of Nitro.
Hey, gotta get the youngins over. I'm saying it's kind of like this. It's like you either be the best or be a vehicle for the best.
I don't know what happened, fellas. I'm back though.
I was like, it's camera done froze. Like, is it the same thing? All right.
Yeah, I'm good. Do you want me to continue or wait?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. Just one that killed me on when I was watching Jake the Snake. He had the hip problem back then. He had a hip problem where he could twist. He moved his leg and you hear the clack clack, and that was his hip. And I was wondering if he would have got the hip surgery back then, would we be in this situation right now?
Oh, yeah, because I know, like, when Paige found Scott, yeah, I knew like you said, he was having hip issues then, and he started a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And for not only that, but he was also paying for some dental work for him too. So.
Yeah, so it just caught me. I was looking at, when I say I was looking at matches, I was looking at stuff that I know Scott was in. I looked at that, and he was like, let me show you something. And he just like moved his leg. It was like click clack, click clack, and I was like, oh, he could have done this surgery back then. I don't know how long ago this was now. Probably. I know it was over 5 years. Oh, probably damn near a decade now. When Jake got cleared and got clean and stuff, but. Maybe, just maybe. I'm not, no doctor, but if he would have got that situation taken care of back then, but I think that's the highlight of Scott Hall, that he went, got clean. Big ups to Diamond Dallas Page for doing that, helping him out, helping his friend out, and not only that, we got the best quote of any Hall of Fame speech of any sport that I ever heard in my life, and that we go keep playing it to over and over again with this with bad times don't last.
Hard work pays off.
Right now I can't even say it, because every time I hear it, I like, man, it's no
bad times don't last,
but bad guys do.
And we gonna hear that forever. Ever.
Hard work pays off.
Yeah. Gotta work on it.
Come true. Hard times don't last, but bad guys do. Rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Well, y'all did great. So,
y'all
took over the show. I'm like, me and Ziggy was sitting back and like, damn, we digging this. It's funny because pretty soon we're gonna be doing a future project. We was actually testing you guys. I'm sorry we have to use you guys as guinea pigs, but we wanted to see if the fans were able to take over the show, and you guys passed. We were very impressed. Very, very impressed. Yes, you guys really did step up. I really do appreciate it. Ziggy, did you have anything that you wanted to add to the?
Nah, just like, I don't know if it was Tony or Reese said it, but like, once again, just to add what we talked about earlier, is like, it's just very unfortunate and sad that stuff like this has to happen to all of a sudden. Now the AEW versus WWE is some peace and quiet for a few days. Like, everybody's in arguing. We finally, like, people are sharing memories, people are sharing memorabilia, people are talking about stories and different things like that. And this is why I joined social media wrestling communities for stuff like this. This is what I was looking for from the community, stuff like this. And it's unfortunate it came from that, but it's good to see people doing this. And I was really just sitting back just listening to all of the stories you guys were telling and some of the memories that you guys were recollecting from your instances, like with Tony. He said he went to see him live, and that was like, if you wanted to see anything live, that is what you would want to see live. And yeah, it's just been pretty cool just to kind of hear you guys.
Yeah, and Reese, I've always been in awe when it comes to your knowledge in the
He's an encyclopedia.
business.
He's a wrestling encyclopedia, bro.
I'm sitting up here just blown the fuck away. And obviously you blown the rest of your fellow wrestling fans as well, because I was like, shit, I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Keen, you know your stuff too, man. Like I was like, man, everybody. Yeah.
Keen, you've been coming on, hashtag Heels for Life for the last since the beginning of the show, or since the beginning of hashtag Heels for Life. I never really publicly told you this though, but you are actually one of the people in Milwaukee, Wisconsin that has been a loyal, not only a friend, but also been a big contributor to hashtag Heels for Life. And I just want to personally say thank you for doing that. Like, I don't give all my friends in Milwaukee, Wisconsin a lot of credit, but you have been one of the ones that really, really stood out. So I just want to thank you so much for that. And how you and Antonio and Reese carried on, you know what I'm saying, without us even coming on. I'm gonna have to talk about you for a little bit. Might have to bring you somewhere on the podcast, because I'm like I said, I like to bring people into my circle that can really pay dividends to our podcast. So thank you for that.
Rob.
Yeah, man.
So let's go on to.
We got a lot more content that we're trying to push out. So we got a lot of ideas. So some things will be coming soon.
Yes. So everyone, I want everybody to understand this, that hashtag Heels for Life is not just for us. It is for the community. As you can tell, for the last 25 minutes.
I forgot how long, because I was really just listening.
Yes, I mean we were sitting back at the host of the show. We were sitting back, and you guys were educating us, and that is basically telling us that I think the community is ready to have their own segment. So I'm just putting it out there. We just put it out there
because we all love Scott. No matter which generation you knew him from, that Scott Hall just was one of those people that the moment you saw him, you just knew you were looking at a star in the rise. And I think the best way to put it was that it wasn't just machismo he was oozing. He was just oozing charisma. He was oozing stardom. He was just oozing love, and I think that's why all of us speak so highly of him.
In the show tonight, I know this was short notice, and I thank everyone for coming on, and telling their story about how Scott Hall influenced your lives, because he influenced all of us. That's why we're here today, because of Scott Hall. But yeah, we're going to have a recap, kind of pick up about wrestling events this past week. Also, we will be having the best of WrestleMania Probably on Saturday if I'm a cool belt. Love that belt.
That's nice.
But yes, we would either have. I'll talk with Ziggy and I'll get the official date, but it'll probably be sometime this weekend. If not this weekend, probably tomorrow, right after Dynamite. So we'll definitely let you guys know. So let's have some final thoughts. Anybody else have anything before we adjourn?
I do have one. Now, I know we talked about earlier when Scott Hall was back when he was part of the NWO and how he helped form the team and put the group together and everything. But the one thing that I definitely remember the most was definitely when he was here in Milwaukee. I remember when Scott Hall was here in Milwaukee back in 2002.
I remember that. Yeah,
when the NWO made their WWE debut.
Man, No Way Out.
No Way Out.
It's funny. It's like everything debuts here in Milwaukee for some reason, but they don't ever like give us our flowers. You know, the birth of Austin 316 was here in Milwaukee.
Yep.
The NWO here in Milwaukee. The debut of Rock and Method Man Music debut in Milwaukee. I mean, it's a lot of shit that debut here.
Charlotte Flair's first pay-per-view loss here in Milwaukee.
Or if it didn't debut, it happened there in Milwaukee then. I think
Yes, that did happen because I was there that night. I was there when I seen it.
Shocking that happens in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
or at least something memorable, because I think of one of the greatest matches of all time, Brian Pillman, Juice Thunder Liger, Super Bowl, and
But if that's everything, everyone, we will see you guys next time. Once again, our deepest condolences go out to the to Scott Hall's family and friends. Until that time, I'm your host, Mr. Team Bringer.
This is Ziggy the Beast.
And we'll see you guys next time. And everyone, thank you, everyone. Reese, Kenya, and Antonio, thank you so much for coming on. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Take us out of here, Ziggy.
All right, got y'all.
I can't.